Morning, everybody. It's day 2 of Ask Carrie. Woohoo! Today's question actually comes from my good friend Jamie, and this is actually something that everybody's kind of been asking me for the last long while. So today I will finally talk about it. And today's question is what is going on with the Eden movie? I think most of you know that my book Eden, which is now republished as the Bane Book 1 in the Eden Trilogy, was actually optioned for a movie deal back in 2011 by the producers of the Twilight Saga, which was super amazing, super awesome, and super exciting. So there was lots of articles written about it and lots of stuff going on with it, and it was really exciting. And then I haven't talked about it since about early 2012, I think. So here's the short gist of it. So the producers, they wanted to see Eden traditionally published, with a big publishing house and whatnot, just because it would, at the time, this is, like I said, early or late 2011, they thought it would have a bigger reach and that it would do better if it was traditionally published. And they also really wanted to see it as a trilogy, which really wasn't a surprise because most of you readers had been asking for it to be turned into a trilogy anyway. So I said yes to both things, the traditional publish and the trilogy. And so what happened is to get traditionally published, you usually need to have an agent. And so they hooked me up with this agent that they thought would be a good fit. And so for a long time, me and this agent worked on revamping it and getting it ready to turn into a trilogy. And this all happened over about 9 months. So during all this time that me and this agent are working back and forth, towards the very end of my relationship with this agent, I found out that the company that I was signed with, the production company, had dissolved and that they dropped all of their projects, and that included the Eden Trilogy. So there was a whole bunch of us authors that were kind of just left dead in the water. And I had now had this revamped book, and, what do I do with it now after all this time and all this work that I've done with it? So what ended up happening, you saw what happened, is I ended up re-self-publishing Eden as the Bane, and then we got a full trilogy out of this. So, it kind of stunk that, there's no movie deal that ended up happening. There was no movie that was actually produced. But heck, we got 2 more books out of it, which was awesome. And I really loved writing books 2 and 3, even though in the beginning when I first wrote the first book, I didn't think I was going to be able to do that, but I did, and I actually really loved writing those 2 books. I love Eve, I love Avian, I love West, and all the other characters in the book, and I love the world. So it was really awesome to see what did happen. And so when you're left dead in the water, what else can you do? Yeah, I just did that. But anyway, so it was a really awesome experience, and I'm glad that everything happened, even if, there were some parts that were disappointing. But it was all an amazing experience in the end, and I don't have any regrets with it. So anyways, that concludes day 2 of Ask Carrie. If you have any more questions, please post them in the comments, or you can tag me on Twitter, or, whatever way you want to get your questions to me. I'll try and keep answering them as we go throughout the next 2 weeks. So have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.